Guys, I am in Panama City here for the first speaking engagement for LesWin Financial in 2026. I had the privilege today or yesterday to speak with a group of people when it comes to estate planning. We titled it Financial Armor with estate planning here. And so, estate planning, guys, is very important. And in particular, I talked about having a will. A lot of people would just have a will and think that they are A-OK when it comes to passing down their assets. Did you know if you have a will, your assets will still go to probate? Because guess what, guys? A will can still be contested. When it's contested, they put it in the local newspaper. Anyone can contest it. Your loved one can say, "I was going to give the car to this person," or "I was going to give the house to that person." That person can say, "Hey, look, this is what they told me." So a will still go to probate. But the main thing that we talked about is having a trust in place. Now, there's two different type of trust. One is an irrevocable trust. The second one would be a living revocable trust. That's what we recommend. The living revocable trust, because now you can make adjustments and changes to that as you establish your trust. Within your trust, you also get a healthcare surrogate. In the event you can become incapacitated, you have designated someone to be able to make medical decisions on your behalf when you become or if you become incapacitated. Same way with a power of attorney, you have someone designated to make calls to the mortgage company and handle any different type of administrative affairs that you have going on here. So, having a good estate plan, you want to have a trust in place here. You want to be able to roll all your assets into the trust, your house, your life insurance, things of that nature. And right below a trust, guys, you can also have what you call as a ladybird deed. For example, I had a lady at my church. She's single. She has an older son. It's just those two. She has a house. And so we established a ladybird deed. So ladybird deed is basically going to your local title company and saying, "Hey, look, on the date upon my death, I want my house to be transferred to this child." And she transferred it over to her son and that with through the ladybird deed. And so upon her death, that house will automatically be transferred out of her name. The deed would come off her name and be transferred over into her son name. That's what you call a having a ladybird deed done in itself here. We also spoke to the community on a group about if you have to go to a nursing home one day and why trust is important. It's because Medicare would not pay for you to stay in a nursing home if you have a 401k, an IRA, and a house. They're going to want you to exhaust all of your assets before Medicare kicks in. And so, how do you avoid that and protect your assets? You want to have a trust in place. And as long as you have your assets in your trust for 5 years, you can still have all of those assets and still have Medicare pay for you in the event you have to go to a nursing home, simply because it's this right here. You don't necessarily own your assets once it goes in the trust. The trust does. So now you have asset protection, but you also control the trust. So you still essentially control your assets, but you have it shielded and protected through a trust. And they call it a 5 year look back. Your assets has to be within that trust for at least 5 years in order to have that asset protection when it comes to nursing homes in itself here. And then the final thing that we talked about yesterday too was having appropriate life insurance. A lot of people get stuck into a whole life or index universal life insurance plan. But make sure, guys, you have a life insurance plan, in particular term life insurance. Make sure you have enough for at least for a minimum for a proper burial. But if you have young kids, you want to have at least 10 times your income when it comes to life insurance, because that's essentially those two things that's going to happen in life: death and taxes. So we want to make sure that we have enough insurance to be able to cover our last remaining days. And in the event if a spouse, depending on our income, you want to make sure that you have enough of income that's still going to be coming in through life insurance in order to be able to still take care of your particular family here, guys. These are the things that we discussed in the conference yesterday, and a lot of things that we discuss here in the LesWin financial community. But I'm so excited to go out on the road and do these things as well. So if you got a church or you got an organization or you got family where you want to have a group gathering, a group training, and have these type conversations, financial conversations. Let's Win Financial is getting on the road. Even if we don't necessarily have to get on the road, we can do a group settings on a Zoom just like this right here. But guys, what we principles that we teach in the Let's Win Financial is being able to manage your money, multiply your money, and protecting your money. And that's particular through estate planning in itself here. All three of these principles are very, very important in itself here. As always, guys, be well, be blessed. As always, let's continue to win.